This is the Shawn Yankey Show.
And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Today, we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack.
This episode of the Shawn Yankey Show is being brought to you by the support of viewers like me. We realize the importance of independent media and truth in this time of mass deceit and propaganda. We have decided to fight for and support it to keep it alive. You can help us in this fight for truth. Contribute at patreon.com/Shawn Yankey. Thanks for coming to the show. It'll begin soon.
Hey, everybody, get in here. It is time again for the Shawn Yankey Show. I am Shawn, and this is the Shawn Yankey Show, and we are live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. And this is a discussion-driven chat show, so wherever you're at, please take part in the discussion. Tonight, what we'll be doing is going to be a little off the cuff, something new. I'm going to be talking about a different content creator and someone I'm enjoying a lot, and going into them a little bit, as well as some other things that I've got set aside. What we had planned tonight was for Nick Stinson to come on the show. Nick was going to come back. That's what I've been talking about all week, but she had to cancel. She was attacked by nature, fire ants, so she's not doing good and didn't feel up to doing it, so we had to go with something else. And I've come up with what I think is going to be interesting to show you something tonight, like a show and tell. And a little bit I want to talk about with you too. But let me say hi to everybody who's here. But if you're here later on, a lot of our views and everyone who listens to our podcast now, we're now a podcast, all of that is after the live. I still want to hear from all of you guys. We get a lot of views and listeners after that. You guys are part of the family too. Let me say hi to the live viewers and get us going with our conversation. But hey, Lee, how are you? Good to see you here. Lee's here on every platform, and thank you for doing that. I really appreciate the support. Please support this show as much and in any way that you can. And there are many ways to do so, all the way up till financially supporting the show, helping us grow in that way. And you can find many ways to do that at theshawnyankeyshow.com under support us. But things like liking, sharing, telling people about the show, participating in it, doing what Lee's doing, commenting on all 3 platforms. You know, unless he's got 3 screens in his living room, which would be badass, and I like to imagine it that way. I don't think he's watching it on all 3, but he checked in on all 3. That's great. Hey, Joan. What's up, Samuel? In a camper for 5 more days of quarantine. Huh. Wow. Well, I'm glad you made the show. We'll at least be entertainment for you for the next hour or so. Hey, Helen, how are you? Lolly, Tracy, Nora. What's up, Shawn? Good to see you. Patricia, Roseanne. Babels is here. You're watching? Babels is using my headphones. I got her some headphones the other day, but I got the wrong kind. I thought I got the wired kind, but I didn't. They were the wireless, and they're not as good, and they don't have good volume, so she's using mine. But I didn't know she was watching us. A lot of times she's watching something else. Thank you for saying that, Joan. I really appreciate it. But like and share, get this out. And all of that, please do that. It's very important, the liking and the sharing. It's crucial, really. We're independent and depend on all of that. But like I said, there's some things I want to talk about tonight and somebody that I want to show you. A teacher of sorts that I want to get into with you and expose you to. But anything at all you want to get into, please bring it up and we can talk about all that as well. So this will be kind of what we're doing tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and get us going. When I found out I was going to be doing just anything we wanted tonight, it can be freestyle, free for all. It opened up the options to just about anything. But what I've been watching a lot of and getting into a lot of lately is studying the Word of God. And for most of that time that I've been doing that and looking into that, it's been aimlessly. I've had a few people that I really liked. Chuck Misler would be one of note. But I was recently pointed to a gifted teacher. And for the first time, I feel that I'm actually absorbing it and more importantly, understanding it. And that's really great. And why I want to show you this particular teacher tonight and talk about him a little bit with you. And we're going to get into that all in a little bit. And I'm going to tell you about this teacher in just a bit so that you can check him out for yourself. But this find for me has been enormous because there were questions that I had regarding my faith that I never thought would be answered in any way that I'd understand. But I no longer feel that way and feel like I'm actually on a path now to unlocking some of those answers. I may never, but it's helping me view certain things in a different light and see them in a different way. And that's something I like about, not just this particular teacher that I'm going to show you, but any of the ones that I've ever really took to or liked and listened and took messages from is helping you to see things and understand things in a way that you may not have seen them before. Like I didn't come to my particular faith through the Word. I came to it in another way. And I've since come to believe that it's important to learn it and to understand it as much as you can and to spread it and all of that. So I'm trying to. But I always struggled with it, and it had to do with those unanswered questions, and a lot of those I still have, and I just had to kind of come to peace with them. I had really given up getting even answers for them. What I had come to say a lot is I just am not capable of understanding it. I wouldn't even understand. I can't understand my own reality. How would I ever understand? I still kind of feel that way, but I'm beginning to think there are more answers here than we're led to believe. So anyways, since I didn't come to it through the Word, I get challenged a lot about things I can't really defend, in addition to my own personal questions about it. But this teacher that I want to show you here in a second has shown me a new path towards maybe getting some of those answers and understanding things better. And maybe it could help you as well. And that's why I was going to highlight him a bit tonight. And we will in just a minute. But I'm just trying to say that these people you may be presented with an idea. For instance, since I came to faith through a life experience, I feel that, God touched me personally. And that's why I actually tattooed it on me. So I never forget it actually happened. And I carry another souvenir of the incident as well. But I wanted to remember that always, even though I had these problems, this is true and real. So I was going to have to find a way to come to terms with it. And like I said, I did that through accepting that I couldn't understand it. But, anything really. For me, it was that, but it could be anything for you that is challenging for you. Don't close yourself completely off to it, because there's new information maybe, or a new way of looking at it that could open up possibilities and open up understanding for you in it. And that's why I want to show you this particular teacher, because he may not speak to you. He speaks to me. I enjoy him. I find him very entertaining, but you may not at first for whatever reason. But if you do go look, do me this favor. Just give him a chance. Stick with it a bit and see if you don't learn something and maybe even find a new way of understanding as well. The teacher that I want to talk about tonight with you was actually brought to my attention by Lee. And his name is Trey Smith. and I began watching his videos. Lee sent me like 3, and I'm going to talk a little bit about these different ones and point out some of the things as best I can, and help you understand what I learned from them as much as I can even. But I couldn't stop watching this guy. I'm going through his whole collection, and I'm even thinking of joining his site. He has a site with actual documentaries. The videos on YouTube of his, at least the ones I've seen, I haven't delved completely into his collection, but at least the ones I've seen are breakdowns where he's breaking down the information for you. I believe the full-length documentaries are all available on his website, which I'm going to show you here in a minute too. But I just want to talk a little bit about this and show you this stuff. So let me switch this. I can show you some of this stuff and while we talk. This is Trey, and he is a teacher, teaches about the Bible and history, ancient history. It's very fascinating, and also shows you the connections and proofs even for a lot of scripture, and helps you understand it and breaks it down in interesting ways. I'm not saying for sure that what he's saying is true or any of that, or vouching for it in that way. I'm saying it's helping me understand things by looking at it in a different way. A lot of interesting information as well. And from those videos that I've been watching, I've been doing this a very long time. A lot more details could probably be given by Lee, who's the one that turned me on to him. But this is what his videos pretty much are like on YouTube. That's what you can expect. Him in front of a screen, breaking different information down. And I just find his presentation and the way he does it to be very entertaining, but also very friendly towards allowing you to think for yourself. Just showing you the different way, what it may mean, or even explaining exactly what it does mean in the biblical sense, or in the Hebrew, or however you want to say that, and showing you that, or whatever. It's very interesting. And like I mentioned Chuck Missler earlier, I liked him a lot, and I was learning Genesis, and I'll probably go back to learn more of it. But his breakdowns were very, very, very intense. Like Genesis, for instance, 8 hours just for that. And that's a lot. And I like the way he did it with science and all of that, and the way he explained things. But he wasn't as entertaining and didn't really break complex topics down in a way that you could absorb them like Trey does. I think he's got a gift for it. He's a great teacher. I had a lot of great teachers in life in different fields, and it's clear that he was born to do this, and I'm glad that he uses that gift to teach this stuff, because I find him very entertaining, and I think you should go check him out. And I'm going to show you a couple of different videos, talk about them in a second. But I've only found a few people like that in my life. Like William Cooper, I like a lot, and someone I would recommend to just about everyone. But I never always agreed with him either, for instance. He just made me think and opened up new ways of looking at things, explain things that never really made sense. But this is the YouTube channel for Trey Smith, and we're to follow him there. His actual website is God in a Nutshell, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. These, like I said, are breakdowns of the different topics. Like, look at that. That's basically what you can expect. Him holding different things and showing you on the screen different things, but talking. I've not seen one of the real documentaries. If you do know Lee, let me know, because I am thinking of doing the $10 a month. That's what the cost is for the actual documentaries on the site. But yeah, a lot of different videos. Very good stuff. I just finished the Nephilim one, and I found that fascinating. A lot of different information in that, different ways of looking at that, and different ways of understanding the biblical text on it, stuff like that. But that's how you can follow him on YouTube. And I'll put all these links up later on. I didn't have them really ready right now to do it live, but I'll add them in the replay stuff. That's where he is there. But the Noah video was very good, for instance. Like I said, Lee sent me 3, and I believe that this was one of them. You can correct me if I'm wrong, right? Sumerian tablets, Noah, and the theory of everything, I think, is what Lee sent me. But Noah was great. And in it, he breaks the whole thing down. Like, I never really fully understand or understood that not only are the measurements for the boat in the Bible, but if you build the boat to those measurements and put it through scientific testing, it withstands all the conditions it would need to withstand. And then he even breaks down how it would mathematically hold the amount of animals with extra room, even could hold more than it needed to. So, it's interesting. And then he goes further in the video of breaking down civilization and its sources and how it seems to originate in the area where Noah's ship is said to have landed. A lot of interesting things, but he breaks it down using history as well as the Bible. And in a way, a good teacher would do it. I had a great teacher once, and he really was never really a teacher. Two of my favorite teachers in life actually had side gigs. Like the one was teaching an experimental class on law. They were doing, and I got approved for it in its first year as a junior even, and they were only really accepting seniors to it. But he was a former homicide detective that just came in to teach this experimental law class. And then the science class, she was a teacher, but really she came from a medical background. She even moonlighted still as a ambulance nurse. They both had other passions. They were fantastic, though, at teaching, delivering information in a way that you could accept it. He is as well. So a lot of what he's teaching, I understand it better and get more into how it does actually make sense. You'll be told often that it's ridiculous, that other things couldn't have happened, this and that. But even mathematically, this breaks down. I find that shit very interesting. And then tracing bloodlines back in humanity in the beginning of all that, very interesting. But how it relates to scripture is very good for me, because it's helping me to understand not only how to look at the word, but also to understand it better. And I think that's what a really good teacher does. But I find this guy very entertaining too. Like, I think you would really like his videos either way. They're very well made, even though he's just in most, like I was showing you, in front of a camera, just talking pretty much like I'm doing. They're very good. They're highly edited too, and the information is just rapid. So good. I think you'd really like them no matter what, but I'm learning a lot from them and looking at things on my own, which I think is also another thing a good teacher does, is get you to want to learn more on your own and find out for yourself. Just give you the things that will interest you and feed that so that you go and seek out these answers. But this video on Enoch I watched, I'm almost done with it. I'm at 50 minutes, and it just tons of useful information, but also presented in a way that you understand it. Like, I did a full audio version of the book of Enoch, and there was this whole section describing like sheep and bulls and all this. I didn't get any of it, but now I understand it. A whole different way of looking at it. Understood it this time as someone explained it. I find so much value in that. It's great, because it confused me. That whole section made no sense. But it's like the play out of civilization. Am I right, Lee? Did I take that right? And Jesus is even described in it, down to salvation will be in his name. It's creepy how accurate this book is. That's not considered canonical. Like, he does explain the reasoning for that. Other people were trying to explain it to me the other day why it's not, because it is referenced 3 times in the Bible, Enoch. One of it's a quote, right? And then this whole book of Enoch, ties into the truth of our reality, as well as goes into detail on the fallen, what they did and are responsible for, God's judgment on them, everything. And now that I understand the part about the animals better and how it's a breakdown of civilization itself, literally everything in the book of Enoch. So it might not be canonical or part of the Bible, although I've seen it argued that it is. It's definitely an important book, but this video on it is great. And you would definitely want to go and read it and understand it for yourself after watching his video. also to me a sign of a great teacher. So I really like this guy. And when I was presented with the opportunity to just do whatever I wanted, I was like, why don't I talk about him? Because like our guest fell through tonight. But I'm going to start reaching out to people like this. This will be a dream guest for me to have him on and have a conversation about literally anything, actually. But this is what I'm into and what I've been watching and what I wanted to share with you. But I thought that'd be great to talk about him for a little while, since we didn't get a chance to have Nick on. And, we'll try to have her on again sometime. But I recommend you check him out. And these are a few of the videos I would have recommended. The Book of Enoch, the one on Noah, the Secrets on the Sumerian Stones. That was very, very good. And, again, all three of those videos, I haven't fully went through his catalog, but all three of the ones I'm showing you really do a lot of showing you the ancient history connections as well, and how these events are all also explained in other prophecies and cultures, stories. So I think he's great. I really like him, and that's what I've been watching almost constantly since Lee turned me on to him. So, but this is the website, and again, I'll put these links up for you so you can go on your own and look. And I'm thinking of doing it. I'm thinking of getting the $10 membership and seeing the actual documentaries, because the YouTube videos themselves are great, and they have tons of information. So I'm dying to see what a documentary is. But this is it here, godinanutshell.com. You can find all of their documentaries and things and books. I believe he even has books. I'm new to him, really, but I wanted to show you. And then there's a few other things I want to talk about having to do with all of what we just discussed. But that's where you can find Trey if you want. Now let me come see what you guys have been talking about. Again, like and share if you forgot. A lot of people forget. It's easy to hit like and share. We need that. It really helps us. Just a little independent show. And comment. All that interaction really does help. You're welcome, Shawn. And if you check him out, I hope you really like him. But give him a chance, Because at first, I'm pretty open-minded, dude. At first, I was like, this guy's a little weird. But you realize it's a little theatrics, sure, but it makes it interesting. Any good teacher really does that, if you think about it. He talks with his hands a lot, but give him a chance, though. Stick with it. Dedicate about 15-minute chunk. Stay that long. And if you don't like it after that, then go do what you want. But I think you need to give him a little bit of a chance. Lee says, get ready for blowback. There'll be those who hate anything biblical. Remember, they hate it because they hated him first. Well, yeah, they don't even care, really. But you're right. That's true. I love the guy, man. Lolly says this sounds cool. I think he's great. And again, I want to learn that stuff. I'm trying to learn that stuff. So that's why it's helping me, and I'm getting that much from it. But I think anybody would like him. Very interesting. Entertaining videos. The way he delivers the information. He's fun to watch. I really think you'd enjoy him. Lori says, you always say things that I'm thinking. There's a bit of Shawn in all of us. Well, they're connected. It's family, frequency, and vibration. And I'm psychic. No, I'm just kidding. I do too, Joan. I could listen to William Cooper read the phone book. I really love his voice and the way he speaks in his deliverance. But the information's great too. His background, he gets a lot of that information there. And then he's a student of history, and he shared all this stuff and helped you understand things in a way that you may have never understood it. He was a great teacher. Took way too early. But another one I would recommend. Maybe we'll do one on him one day too. Fire ant attack. Yeah. Marie asked what happened to Nick. Yeah, we were supposed to have Nick on tonight. I've been talking about it all week, but she got attacked by fire ants. I guess they found out she was coming on the show, and they weren't going to allow that. Trisha says it's interesting to me that none of this stuff is on his Facebook page, just constant stuff about Israel. I don't know what he personally posts on Facebook. I'm talking about him as a content creator. I haven't delved into him personally. I think you'll like it. You know, the videos are very good. And they're very well made. I think I'll learn stuff from him in that regard too. So Shawn says maybe I should watch him again because it was early days when I saw him, where I now understand more of what he talks about, so it doesn't seem as extreme. Yeah, give him another chance. I like him a lot. I think he's really entertaining. Yeah, that is awful. Fire ants? How did? Well, you know what I was thinking when I was told is how did that happen? How do you get attacked by ants? It made me wonder, and I came up with some creative ideas in my head, but I still don't get it. Like, are you like on the ground? Did you pass out outside, like a picnic maybe? How'd they sneak up on you? You need a large group? Too many questions, but it does sound awful. And fire ants? I don't want to get bit by anything with fire in the title. But like I said, we can talk about anything you want, but I want to talk about a few different things having to do with certain proofs. I feel proofs, scientific proofs of the Bible and of God that are hidden from reality, or your understanding of it anyway, on purpose, because they want to kill God and destroy him and then replace him with a false antichrist. But it's right there. And a lot of their theories and shit that all this been built on, that you've been taught since kindergarten, is bullshit and doesn't hold up to any of these. When presented to or presented against real science, like the theory of gravity, the Big Bang, all these other things fall apart. Especially like something evolution, for instance, completely falls apart when exposed to any different sound science. But everything revolves around these different things. And it's maddening. So you get taught a whole way of thinking that doesn't even allow you to understand most of what's really going on. You have to unlearn all that shit. It's a lot to unpack. Then you find out there's all these proofs in nature, everywhere, of the existence of God. Things like the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio. These things that are in everything. All kinds of things. Nikola Tesla was way into frequency, vibration, 3, 6, and 9, how that combination is found in almost everything. He felt like it was, what do you call it, the key to the universe. These things, like this sequence, for instance, is in everything. I picked the wrong example to show things on, but if you look into it, you find it everywhere in the golden ratio as well. And all this stuff is all these evidences to me of creation. And they'll admit that. They'll admit that it points to created universe. It's just they'll explain it with, then we live in a computer matrix, a computer program. Yeah, it's even mathematically most likely that we do. Bullshit. They just want to eliminate God from the conversation. And then Lee's right. This does and always will probably cause backlash because everybody's got an opinion and wants to be right about their definition and personal opinions on God. But what I'm talking about right now, big picture, is just that there's evidence of the Creator everywhere. And you've just been convinced, one, not to look at it or see it, never taught about it, and two, given a lot of bullshit science to try and explain it in another way. It messes everything up and makes it to where you can't even think right. Shawn says plantain is good for fire ant bites, but I didn't know that then. Plantain? What do you make a cream out of it? Those are those little bitty bananas, right? Oh, Marvina says what you do is you step in a fire ant mound. They're little mounds they have that they're always crawling out of. little mini volcanoes, and you don't notice it. And that's what happened to you in Lubbock, Texas. Is that what you're saying? They get you like that? Well, they swarm you all at once when you get their mount? Wow, dangerous bastards. It'd be awful because they work together really well. Shawn says he's been attacked by fire ants. He was helping a friend do his garden. He had a few beers and was jumping around because they were biting up in his shorts. Yeah, these fucking things sneak attack you. They're brave. Why would they do that? Why are they looking for a fight? What's going on there? Anybody done any research into the fire ant thing? I didn't know they were so aggressive. Lee says it's still effective. The adversary made Eve doubt God. Why fix something that's still working? And it's their method. Deceit. Patricia says you still got to have a programmer. Even if you're a deist, there's still a watchmaker. I was going to reply to that, but I can't fully understand what she's making a point there about. But I think I get it. I'm just not 100% sure. Trudy said onion cut off the end for an ant and insect bite. Hold onion on bite. Unsure about fire ants, though. You just hold it there? Sucks out the poison. You need to learn more of that stuff, you know. Be good to know. Survival type shit. I just think it's really neat that you don't learn about stuff like those things that I mentioned. Real science. And you're taught, though, instead about all this bullshit. And you find out later it doesn't hold water at all. Shawn says it's a wild little plant that everyone has in their garden and the lawn. Again, I think you're talking about the plantain reference, but I don't know. I thought they were the little mini bananas. Aaron, the guest had to cancel, was attacked by fire ants. So tonight I talked about a creator, a teacher, Trey Smith, for a little while. And now we're just kind of having a conversation. That's what happened with the guest. She got attacked by fire ants. It's terrible. And we'll have to reschedule. Next week, though, we're going to begin a recurring thing. Theorist George Ty is coming on. And he's going to be coming back bi-weekly for a while. So that's going to be cool. That'll allow us time to get in all kinds of different stuff. And explore other topics even. Maybe do things. It'd be neat. I want to set up something like that with a couple other different people. I'd like to set up something like that with Gerard, as much as he could commit to doing it. And then Philip Polk Palmer, for instance, would be great. I'd love to have him back. But I'm going to start reaching out to people like Trey. I'd love to have him on. That'd be great. And then another dream guest for me would be David Icke. I like him a lot. I want to reach out to these people and see if we can't get them. Can't hurt. Worst they can say is no. And then I want to find more interesting, different people to bring on a new pool. Some podcast friends turned me on to a site that matches you with guests and experts on different topics. But you need an iTunes account to get in to make these relationships. And I don't have an iTunes account. I can't figure it out. Maybe I need to get Mark to set up my iTunes, and then I can use that community. Lori says she'll write to Trey if I remind her. Well, okay. I'll remind you. Don't let me forget it. Aaron says we can get David Icke. He wants airtime and we have questions. We've reached out already. Joan sent him an email. Joan's been booking guests now for us and helping me with that. You know, anybody else that wants to help me, let me know. You know, this is hard. It's a one-man operation, so there's lots of things to do. And I would appreciate help. So, yeah, Lori, if you want, reach out to him. We're going to, too, though. That's what I'm saying. We're going to reach out to these people. Ty is a great guest, you know, and the idea of him coming back on regularly for a while, I like it. I really do. Because like I said, it opens up all kinds of things, you know, because he'll come on and bring up 50 things. Now we'll be able to go into detail on some stuff and have deeper conversations. That'd be cool. Diane says, have a night with a few top fans once in a while. we could do that. I've reached out before and asked people if they wanted to do that, and we can have up to 10 people on screen. There's just always been very little interest when I ask. Maybe one or two people say they would do it, and then I don't know. Everything seems to fall through every time, but yeah, we could do that. It's been a while since I asked people. Maybe I should ask again. I know, that's what I was saying. Lori said she meant she'd do it for the show if you like, not me. Yeah, I got you. Word? That's a lot. That's a lot, I guess. But anything you guys want to discuss or talk about, let me know. I want to remind you again, though, that we're brand new over on Rumble. And we already had a channel there, but they just added live streaming. So go over there and check it out. I will get you the link to the show tonight that is going on, because we're live right now, right over there. But while you're there, though, subscribe, because I think I'm going to get more active on Rumble and make some more original videos to put up, different videos. And I got some ideas in mind, but I'm going to start that again. It's been a long time since I did that, because YouTube wiped our whole channel. But now I think this would be a good place to put them. So, be more stuff over there. So go subscribe. Stuff you can't find other places, because they say that they don't censor. Well, we're going to find out. I'm going to push that envelope a little bit. Find out if that's true. See, Aaron couldn't do it because he's got no camera live option, but he'd love a top fan night. Phone live only. Yeah, we could do audio. I was wondering maybe why Nick didn't want to just do audio, but maybe she really don't feel good. I don't know what fire ants do to you. He says he's got an opinion on it for every topic. We could do audio. You could come on just audio for sure. It is tough being on camera, but like again, audio is fine. And for instance, Shawn is going to do the show pretty soon. I don't know if you're ready for me to tell people that, Shawn, but he's going to talk to us about natural remedies and organic things like this. But yeah, it is a lot. Carrie, who hasn't been around in a bit, but he's actually going to come on too when he's ready. The camera thing is tough for people. But again, audio. I just don't know how to put a picture up. On the other platform we used to use to do this, I could put pictures up for people when they were just doing audio. On here, it will just show up your little icon from whatever you're using, but it's possible we can do it. Hey, Jordan. All is well for me. I hope all is well for you too. How are you? Nora says September 7th, Las Vegas medical workers are walking out against this mandatory juice. I don't blame them, and there's going to be staffing shortages all over the country over this. There are a lot of medical professionals who want no part of this experiment. So that's interesting. These people were heroes not that long ago, and now just being thrown out on the street because they don't want to participate in a medical experiment, which is exactly what it is. Lori says that I should write John Paul Rice. He is absolutely awesome. John Paul Rice. If you see this, please come on the Shawn Yankey Show. I also have a great face for radio, but just being on camera doesn't bother me very much. I'm comfortable with it. It is tough for people. I understand it. September 13th, another big day there too. Interesting. Let's see. Is there anything else that I want to make sure that I get into with you tonight and remind you of before we wrap up another week of the Shawn Yankey Show? And for one, I got to get you a coupon again. We're now an affiliate with Dr. Squatch. So I used to talk about this soap all the time. And it's great soap, by the way. But Joan was like, we're going to talk about it all the time. We should see if they'll sponsor you. And while we didn't get an official sponsorship, we are an affiliate. So I do get credit and things. A small cut probably, but a cut. if you buy some of this great soap. So I'm going to get you a coupon, and you can go do that if you want. I love it. This soap is great. Bayless can probably vouch for it too if she's still here. I don't know if she's still here or not, but this link here, and it may look weird, but that's an official link. And then you enter this code at checkout, and you're going to get 10% off any order of $20 or more. So, and I will get credit for it and a cut if you actually make a purchase. So there you go. I wanted to remember to do that. But then we talked briefly about this at the beginning. If you can support us, support this show, help us grow and reach our goals. We have a lot of ambitious goals, the most ambitious of which is to stream directly from our website. And actually, coming up soon, we're going to be deciding whether or not to keep it, even if we don't get our support level up, because that itself is $300 a year. But the stream on it's about $1,600 or $1,800, I don't remember exactly, per year. And that's where we want to ultimately be, so that we have a home that is untouchable. Like I hope maybe Rumble becomes. I've heard it's no censorship, etc. And our videos should be safe there and all that. And that'd be great. But this would be our own home. And then we could still go to all these other places. We'd have our own place though. And we build a stream there. And that's our ultimate goal. But the next step I think I want to take is to upgrade our actual streaming software, which is a little more expensive too. But that would allow us to go to 5 more places. We'd have 5 more live platforms. So different things like that. If you can help with any of that stuff, under the support us tab on the ShawnYankeyShow.com, you'll find all kinds of ways to do that. But one great way that I push a lot is our merchandise store. This is one way that you can support the show and get something for yourself. And I also get a good percentage of the merchandise as well, at least a fair percentage, I think. Better than I would have gotten had I tried to do it on my own. And it's better merchandise. But it's funny, though, because a long time ago, I attempted to sell merchandise once, but I had made them myself, and Babel's found one. It turned out, I don't know where it is right now, but I'll find it soon and show it to you. But these are not like that. These are premium, high quality, made of good, nice, soft, and professional made coffee cups, mugs, t-shirts, stickers, all kinds of things. This is the commercial for that, and I'll be right back with you before we wrap up tonight on Friday night. Hey, while you got a minute, let me talk to you. Do you have excellent taste? Do you love cool t-shirts? Then you need some sweet Shawn Yankey Show swag. And do I have just the place for you? The official Shawn Yankey Show merchandise store. Your home for the best t-shirts, stickers, and cool official Shawn Yankey Show swag around. Check out this sweet tee. Or this premium stylish hoodie. What about this sweet coffee mug? Support our shows and help us grow in style at the Shawn Yankey Show merchandise store. Stick around. Shawn will be right back, and there's more show to come. All right. You damn right, Jordan. The merch game has to be strong. I collect t-shirts. It's kind of my thing. And I like t-shirts, and I wanted to have nice ones. And we got 14 original ones. And I'm kicking around the ideas for a few more. So keep a lookout for those. And the soap is great. Dr. Squatch. I don't really recommend stuff to you if I don't stand behind it. And I stand behind that soap. I was talking about it for free for a while. That's why Joan told me I had to at least reach out and see if they'd sponsor. So, Babels, I'm so glad you're here still, and you've been around for the whole show. I was impressed when I walked by you and you were still watching it, because she's in the room here, on the bed. not to break the fourth wall, but this is also a bedroom for everybody. And I hate when I do that. Anyways, yeah, that commercial. I got to make a new one, but I love that commercial. Have you ever seen it before? The commercial? I think I showed it to you, but I don't know if you ever saw me play it. It's not crazy. I don't have enough t-shirts. I only have about 79 last I counted. Could be 80 something now. It's not that many, really. You know, you run out. If you didn't repeat one, you'd run out in 3 months. What kind of t-shirt game is that? That's weak. Shawn, there's probably good reason for that. I actually think this has something to do with the Fallout game. That's not why I bought it, though. I bought it because I was born in 76, but I think it is a reference to the Fallout game. Oh, the commercial ain't broke. If that's what you're talking about, I love that commercial. And the music in it's great, you know. And there's a lot to a high bar, actually, to make a new commercial. But I got to make a new one because I've made new shirts and I want to put them in it. I had a new one and then I accidentally deleted it. I deleted a bunch of videos off my computer on accident. No, that number includes all of them, actually. If I only counted my fancy, the ones I like and actually wear a lot, we're actually talking about 50, maybe 60 tops. Probably 50. There's a lot of them in there now that we're getting to the end of my collection right now, actually, in the rotation. A lot of them I don't wear. That number is probably about 20. That's just guessing. Well, you can't be late, Samuel. And the thing is, it still exists everywhere. But even better than that, you can check it out as a podcast. And I'm going to give you the link to Anchor, which is the free platform that I use for the podcast. But it also goes out to Spotify and 6 other platforms through Anchor. But Anchor's free, and you can download their app and all that and enjoy it. So I just give you that link. But you can listen anywhere you want. Just Google it, and you'll find it. But Spotify is where I listen, for instance. But the Morning Yank used to be, or well, still is, on Podbean and go out to different places. But it's all going to be on Anchor. So that's a good place to follow the podcast version. And I like the podcast. I listen to it myself. I have a long drive to work. So it's good for that. And it's different, the show. Especially the Morning Yank. Because you use your imagination. You know, you make up what Anton looks like, for example. Or imagine how beautiful Paul's beard is today. And your imagination can run wild. It opens up different possibilities for enjoying the show. And you're right, Joan, at least 365. A different one for every show, every day of the year. And that's a good place to start. A good starting number for a decent collection is 365. I think that it's not even a proper collection until it's at least that high. I don't know where Dana is. That's interesting. I don't know. We'll start an investigation and look into it. If she's not here, I bet you that Paul isn't here either, and maybe they're out doing something together. Although they're introverts, so it's highly unlikely. They might be working on cooking up some oil, or maybe she's playing cello. There's a lot of things she could be doing. I don't know. That's weird. Have you ever played the Fallout game, Shawn? Do you play games? I used to. I used to play games. I used to like them a lot. I was way into the Final Fantasy series, Resident Evil. I liked all those. Played almost all of those. And sports games, too. I liked Madden. I was way into boxing games. I don't play them all anymore. It's weird to me that I just stopped. I'm aware of them. My son plays them. I just don't anymore. Fable's number 77. You're beardless? When did this happen? You know, it's really hard, especially since you're the face of the show, to sell it when you keep changing your face. I'm just saying. You were watching on Rumble? I like it. I like it. And we're doing pretty good for our first week there. Not doing bad at all. I'm happy with it. You know, I was expecting the numbers to be much lower even. But I'm going to put more original videos on Rumble. And I think that'll help too. But subscribe over there because I'm not going to put those videos anywhere else. Maybe Gab TV, but not anywhere else. Not anywhere that is going to take them down. Anywhere that does any censoring. And, Gab TV doesn't have live streaming yet. But if they add it, one of these other two will go. YouTube or Facebook. Because I'm not against eliminating either one of those. I'd hate to do Facebook only because it's our biggest platform and where most people watch, because it's fun there to watch a video. But now if people move to one of these that don't censor, we'll kick these others out. Unless we upgrade to the 8 thing, then we bring them back. But for now, I don't know. They just keep us from being able to talk, mostly. Marvina's played Fallout, Babels, and she says it's okay. What kind of game is it? Like open sandbox type free world game where you can do anything you want? Like a Grand Theft Auto. I used to like that game a lot. That game I played a lot. But I don't play any anymore. I've been kind of having the craving to play that boxing game. EA Sports made a great boxing game. They don't even make them anymore, or haven't in a long time made a new one. But it was great game, and I've been wanting to play that, but I don't. I never want to play it bad enough to actually do it. Plus, Zach told me he's not connected to the internet anymore on that PlayStation, so I can't play against real people anyway, and that's the way I like to play it. It has a great story mode, but I want to play against real people. So Paul was on Rumble and didn't leave a comment. Did you give me a Rumble at least? Are you even subscribed to the channel? I got a lot of questions now. We're going to have to get to the bottom of all of them for personal reasons. Okay, he says he left a comment. But I love your profile picture. The old man Fred Durst. That's great. Patricia says that Gab got a letter from Congress and she posted on it today. Really? Interesting. I'll check that out. What did Congress have to say? Shawn used to love games, but his interest changed and he started waking up. Now he's learning for some strange reason because he never liked learning. Well, you were never taught real information before. It's probably why he didn't like it. And I think that's a big reason why a lot of us have trouble in school. We don't have real education. It's an indoctrination system. So a lot of us had trouble with it for that reason. I did too. I used to love playing games. I used to play them all the time. What's up, Dale? How are you? I don't know if I said hi to you. I want to make sure I do. Shawn says that Fallout is apocalypse free world type game after a nuke is dropped in America. Interesting concept. Trisha says she dropped a fire-ass Eric Clapton video today. Nice. All right. Very, very cool. Did I put the Anchor link? Yes, I did. All right. Want to make sure I did all those things. Not a lot of boxes to check off anymore with the commercials and the affiliate programs and podcasts. It's all exciting, though. It's cool. The show's growing and going out to more places. I suck at shooting games. Babos is really good at them, and so is Zach. I suck at them. I do nothing but die. And again, I like to play against real people online. And all I do is spawn and die. That's it. I don't ever really kill anybody. I barely get to move around long enough to figure the gun out. And they kill me. They can play forever, just running around, shooting people, make it look easy. Pisses me off. I don't have the reflexes for it. I don't know what it is, but I can't do it with those shooting games. But I did really like Resident Evil a whole lot and the Final Fantasy games. I love those. But I just lost interest at some point. I don't know when. It's weird. I know that's what it is with the shooting games. I don't have the coordination, the hand-eye coordination for them. It's got to be what it is. Because I can't even function in them. I've seen them play them, so I know it's possible, but I can't do it. Oh, well, what did he do? What did Eric Clapton do? Speak out against the Jews? I don't know. I need more information. I haven't seen it. I'll check it out. So check out this fire-ass Eric Clapton video on Patricia's timeline. Apparently, he risked his life. What's up, Edward? How are you, man? Good to see you. Have you guys checked out The Morning Yank this week, for instance? Make sure you do. That's the podcast, morning show. It's also a podcast too, but the morning show that I do with Paul every Tuesday morning. And I did get him to commit. So it's 10 a.m. Eastern now. We're going to go back to 10 a.m. So every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, you get a morning yank. But you can't be late to that either. So check it out on Wednesday at 3 p.m. That's perfectly fine. Get yourself an afternoon yank. Just leave a comment and hit like while you're there. Share it out. No wrong time to share a morning yank either. Sharing is caring, always. Days of the week really have no meaning to me, but yeah, TGIF. For a lot of you, they might. Monday through Friday jobs, but I don't have one of those. I was trying to explain it to somebody the other day. They were pushing me on, when did this happen? What day was it? I don't know, man. What day is it today? I need to be reminded. I don't know. Babels loves the morning. I didn't even know this. You're right over there. Why don't I know that that's your favorite show? It's weird. There's a new song. See, I've missed this too entirely, Shawn. I don't know what she's talking about, but she said, or he says, his new song, Something's Gotta Change music video dropped today. Maybe it's that. Maybe that's the hot video. Could be anything. Aaron says, in sports ball news, that he realized today that the Kansas City Chiefs preseason game, town was in red and stirring with anticipation, but for some reason, Rona in control, he lost all interest and got pretty irritated that the masses are still so easily distracted. I've been upset with that too. We talked about that yesterday in the rants. I'm real upset with a lot of that stuff. Some of it I find sad and some of it's aggravating. Trudy says she can't move or run into walls and shit, not go with shooting games and running games. I'm okay with the third person perspective, like in Resident Evil, but the first person shooting games, I'm terrible. And I do the same thing. Run into walls, I can't stand upright, I can't even figure out the gun. I never kill anybody. I just die. Are you talking to Babel, Shawn? Yeah, she's been in a lot of pain dealing with the Rockefeller medical system, and that sucks. But thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. They're stopping you from posting links. Both times I posted a link tonight, it said that it didn't go out to certain platforms. But then a lot of times I find out they're lying to me. That's weird. But yeah, they do stop links and all kinds of different ways of censoring and stopping information. Apparently, she was able to post it on Facebook. There it is. If you want to check it out. See what fire Eric Clapton dropped today. Night Owl on Rumble said that she hates games and didn't even like them when she was a kid. Really? And when I was a kid, I loved them. They were very different then. I had all the way back to the Commodore 64, the little paddle and then the Atari, the joystick. But the original Nintendo, I had a Sega, all kinds of systems. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out was my shit. Mario Brothers. Although I was never great at it, a lot of my friends knew the secrets, like how to get unlimited lives and shit like that, and where there were invisible boxes to hit. I didn't know any of that. And I loved Mortal Kombat and the fighting games, but I was never great at those either. I never knew the secret moves or combinations. But I used to love all that shit. I just don't play them anymore. They just don't interest me. Trisha wants to know if Babels has tried acupuncture or a chiropractor. I know she had a chiropractor that she likes. I don't think she's ever done acupuncture. Edward is talking about crypto. He got his crypto card from crypto.com. Not a sales pitch, just stoked. It's like a prepay card, but you get 2% back in Crow coins. Right up, right on, man. Get them diamond hands. Samuel was getting his diamond hands the same way. Clinton was telling me last night also to invest in this crypto. Last signal, something's bad going to happen with the economy and the dollar. But I don't know. I don't give out financial advice, really. Yeah, again, I think Alice is talking about the references this shirt has to the game Fallout and the Vault. I like it because I was born in 76. That's why I bought it, but I do think it is in reference to that. Dr. Mario is a fun game, and Mortal Kombat, I love Mortal Kombat. I had a Sega, and that was, I can't believe how bad it holds up now, but how mind-blowing those graphics were when they first came out on the Sega, for instance. Because Mortal Kombat used real people, on the screen. That was wild. I was so impressed with those graphics. And you look back on them now, it's like, I remember thinking these were really neat. She does use the tens unit, Joan. She does do that. Trisha hasn't played a video game since Pong. That's been a while now. But yeah, I've been around all the way since then. I lost interest maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. I don't remember exactly when. It wasn't that long ago. But I don't know. Like I said, I've been craving the boxing game, but not enough to actually play it. Pong was the shit. I had that tank game I really liked when I was a kid too. I don't remember what system it was on. I want to say the one with the joystick, Atari, I think. But you had these tanks, and I don't remember what you did, but I love that game. You still play Atari table tennis? You still have a working Atari? Or one of the mods they put out since, the things you can get like Walmart that has 160 games on it. Edward had a full-size Pong table game when he was a kid. I remember at the arcades and pizza places, those big versions of like Centipede and shit like that. Those were cool. It really is, Shawn, and finding out new information, new ways of looking at things and understanding it. It does change you. So. P.O. Box is everything's on the ShawnYankeyShow.com. Under support us, all the information. P.O. Box 162, Middletown, Missouri 63359 is our P.O. Box for the show. But all that information is on the website. Yeah, everything is. I have too. We should play it. We played it together before, Resident Evil. I want to play that. And God of War is great. I did beat one of those, but there was a part in it I couldn't do on my own. And I wouldn't have been able to beat it. I'd have been stuck forever if someone else hadn't done it for me. So I do get stuck in those games. My reflexes must be shit, I guess. My hand-eye coordination. There's a specific puzzle in God of War. I remember this particular game, but it has to do with these spikes on the floor and you're pushing a box. And I just didn't have the reflexes to do it on my own. Bayless has to do it for me. I remember Galaga and Space Invaders. Well, you did like a game then. Joan says she liked Space Invaders when she was a kid. I've never played Pong on Quaaludes, but you probably could. You're right, it was pretty slow. Well, all right. I had a great time hanging out with you guys, and I'm sorry that the guest fell through. Things happen. Life gets in the way. We'll reschedule with Nick. Like I said, next week's Ty, and he'll be coming on regular, so that's going to be a regular thing. And I'm going to set up some regular things with some other people too. I think that'll be good to do. So appreciate all you guys and everything you do for us and all your sharing and commenting and participating in the show. And I'll see all of you Monday night for a brand new episode. But like I said, check out the podcast versions of the show and go over to Rumble and follow that channel because there'll be videos now and original stuff that's going to only be there. That'll be the only place to find it. And I'll see you guys Monday night. Have a great weekend. Whoops. I almost did the wrong thing. I almost forgot to play the exit. See you guys Monday.